Hello YouTube, Dave here again. I'm going to be honest, I've been having a bit of an off week. I think it's just because this has been the first really hot week that we've had. So just the heat really kind of gets to me. So I just haven't had a lot of energy to record videos, and I do apologize for that. I tried the day that I did my Stream of Annihilation announcement videos. I had a couple of other ones that I actually recorded, but they didn't turn out super well. And I don't think that now's the time to do them. I'll try to re-record those next week. But I thought just to have at least a third video come out this week and have something come out on the weekend, I want to do just a little bit of just some of the things that I've added as pickups for my various types of collections. So I've only actually got one D&D thing to add to this, but it is something that I think is really cool because it's part of a D&D set that I don't have anything for. So we'll just kind of go over some of the things. So starting off with, start off with some wrestling stuff. And just recently picked up. I've had it for about a week or so now, a couple weeks actually, I think at this point. But WrestleMania 34 or 33, sorry, not 34, 33, and it's actually honestly it's still sealed. I'm after WrestleMania with the Undertaker's retirement. Him taking off the hat and the gloves and the jacket and leaving that in the ring, breaking character for the first time in 27 years. I just find that I don't really have anything to anchor me to current wrestling. Kane is currently running for political office, so he's out. So I just don't really have the interest in it that I had leading up to that point. There's been a couple of pay-per-views actually, I haven't even watched them yet. So this is still sealed. I think there's something inside of here as well. I think there's a trading card in here as well. So one of these days I'm going to have to actually open this up, give it another watch. It's just, I don't know, I guess I was affected more by The Undertaker's retirement than I thought I would be. So eventually, like I said, I'll open this up. But so I got this for now. Speaking of wrestling, so a lot of you probably know, if you're a wrestling fan, that you can buy these like children's-sized replica belts at like Walmart and Toys R Us and stuff like that. And I've wanted to get the Intercontinental title one for a while just because that was always my favorite championship growing up. But I always, whenever I'd see it, I'd kind of like, and on, like, no, I'll get it next time type of thing. But I saw one that I had to get right away. And the reason for that is I don't think it's going to be easy to find in the future. And what that is, it's the old school Winged Eagle championship belt. And this thing is just awesome. It's this is the world title that I grew up with. This is the one that Bret Hart held 5 times. This is the one that The Undertaker held twice. This is the one that Stone Cold Steve Austin ended up winning at WrestleMania 14 before it was retired. And even though it's the kid-sized replica belt, I mean, the Winged Eagle wasn't a huge belt to begin with, so it doesn't actually look that far off in terms of scale. It's probably smaller, but it's a decent size for the kids belt. And for like 25 bucks, again, the championship that I remember growing up, I had to pick this up. And I took it out of the packaging, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of held it over my shoulder more than once, just because again it's a big part of my childhood here. So I picked that up. Now, one of my favorite shows on television it's no longer running, and there's no new episodes. They ended it last a couple years ago, I think. But it was a show that my fiance kind of got me into, and I didn't really know what to expect because she's big into like computer hacking and stuff like that, and using computers for things, and I'm awful with computers. So when she suggested this show, it's like, well, I'll give it a try. The first few episodes, I was like, it's all right. But then from the 4th episode on, it's like, this is now my new favorite show of all time. And that show is Person of Interest. If you haven't seen this yet, this show is amazing. It's kind of difficult to describe the basic premise, but what ends up happening is after the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the government in secret had companies or individuals try to build this surveillance machine, and something that could potentially target or identify terrorist threats in the future. And the premise behind this is that one of these things actually exists as an artificial intelligence. It sees more than just terrorist acts. So it sees like regular premeditated things like, you know, murders and stuff like that. So the person that created this machine went into hiding and is trying to solve the issues with the individuals that are considered not relevant to national security. And it seems like, you know, kind of an odd premise, and it could have just run as an episodic thing from week to week with the different individual stories. But once the overarching story thread starts being introduced, the show gets amazing. It's intense. There's a lot of episodes, not a lot of episodes, but there are enough episodes that kind of end on a bit of a cliffhanger that you want to not only watch the next one, but there's some story things that just never get resolved. And not that they're major things, they're just kind of minor story plots or minor story things that are only relevant to that individual episode. But it's such a good show. I mean, my fiance was off recovering from surgery at the time I started watching this, so we binge watched this show. Like, we went through an entire season with 23 episodes in 2 days. So this is season 1. Awesome. I have also got season 2. My fiance got me season 2 for my birthday. And then I picked up season 3. And finally I picked up season 4. So the show ended after season 5. Season 5 is only 13 episodes, I think. But I can't find it anywhere, and I'm hoping to see it in the store. I got all these actually at Sunrise Records. It's the like a CD record shop that opened up in places where there were a lot of HMVs. I don't know if HMV is a US thing or not, but it was a like music and video chain in Canada at least, and it ended up going through bankruptcy. So they closed out all their stores, but Sunrise Records went into where they used to be, which was awesome because they were selling these for less than, it was like $16 a season, which is really good price. So as soon as I got the chance, I went out and picked up as many of them as I could, and just hoping for season 5. But if you haven't seen the show yet, my description can't really do it justice, so check it out if you get the opportunity. And finally, the last thing that I picked up is the only D&D related thing that I've gotten since the last video, but it's to me it's kind of a big one. So if you look at my collection here, I have 0th edition D&D, I have 1st edition AD&D, 2nd edition AD&D, 3.0, 3.5, 4th edition Essentials, and now 5th edition. But the thing that I'm missing is what's considered the basic edition, or I think it's the Menser D&D or the BECMI. So I don't have any of those, at least not until now. I have like the Adventure Keep on the Borderlands, I have Isle of Dread, which came in the expert rules. So what I ended up picking up is the Master Rules. So I got the Master Rules set, so the player's book and the DM's book. So this was the 4th of the 5 rule sets to be released. So the first ones were Basic, Expert, and then there was the Companion Rules, followed by Master and Immortal. So I can't run basic D&D off of this, but it is a definitely welcome part of my collection. Still looking for Basic and Expert. I would have been happy just having Basic and Expert, but having Basic, Expert, and Master Rules is going to be pretty awesome. So I'm still looking for those 2 other ones, but I was super thrilled to be able to add this to my collection, which I did for, it was only $15, which I think is a pretty decent price, pretty reasonable. It doesn't have the box or anything. I looked this up online, and a lot of the times if they're selling them, even the loose books, they're selling for around $20 to $25. So I saved a little bit of money buying these, but a huge addition to my collection, and something that really is going to motivate me to go after the Basic and Expert rules. So again, I wish I had more for this video. I do apologize. Like I said, it was a little bit of an off week. I just wasn't feeling the greatest. But, next week's going to be another week, and I'm hoping to be back in full force by that point. So, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Hey everyone, just a quick little thing I want to add to the end of my recent pickup videos. For the interest of full disclosure, I usually record videos a day or so in advance if I get a chance to. So I recorded the pickup video part that you saw prior to this. I recorded that yesterday. So I recorded that Friday. Today is Saturday, the day I'm actually planning to upload the video. And the reason I wanted to just kind of add on is we ended up going out. My daughter's going to a friend's birthday party, so we went out to Walmart to pick up a few, things for presents and stuff like that, just little things. And I went to the game section. I wasn't really expecting anything, but it turns out Walmart is blowing out their Wii U games, and they had some pretty good sales on a lot of things. Like even some of their like Nintendo Selects that were $30 Canadian were being sold for $20. But the one that really caught my eye was this one here, Star Fox Zero. This is the version of it that comes in the box, which made me immediately want to get it. Now, when this released, and up until like now, this was a $75 game if you live in Canada. So it was very expensive, and that's what kind of kept me from wanting to get it. I wanted to get it, but it kept me from actually pulling the trigger on it. So I saw this today. It was marked down to $29.99, which was, in my opinion, absolutely awesome. A bit of a funny story, because when we went there, we were kind of in a bit of a time crunch, but I wanted to pick this up. So I just told my, fiance, just, go wait in the car. They have air conditioning and everything, so they were going to be fine. But I wanted to wait, and the person that had the keys to get into the game case was working the photo lab, and of course there would be people there that spent about 10 minutes going over prices and questioning, what they were being charged for things, and it was starting to get really frustrating. I was just about to actually say the heck with it and walk out, but I'm glad I didn't, and here's why. So I get this, I pick it up, I scan it, or I didn't scan it, but the cashier, takes it and scans it, and it comes up at $9.96. So $9.96, less than, well, not much, but less than $10 after tax. It was $11.45. So this comes with Star Fox Zero, and it comes with Star Fox Guard. So there's actually two games in here. I haven't even opened this up yet. I wanted to wait until I got home and just recorded this quick little video section here. The only thing I'm worried about is damaging the box. So hopefully I can get this without tearing anything. Oh, there we go. So I think Star Fox Guard was a downloadable title that you could get through the Wii Store, or their virtual console, or whatever you want to call it, in the marketplace. But if you buy this one, you get it as a physical copy. And I don't really know a whole lot about this. I think it's kind of like almost like like tower defense, if I recall. Like I said, I don't really know a lot about it, but this looks really fun. I can't wait to give this a try. And of course, I've got the actual Star Fox Zero game as well. So just considering how hard that box was to open, I think I'm just going to seal the box back up and just put the box up on my shelf where I've got like my collector's, or the edition of Twilight Princess that came with the amiibo. It's just I don't want to wreck the box. It's such a nice looking box too. But I may put the stuff back in there, but for now I'm just going to kind of set this aside because I want to give these a look. But I just wanted to add this to the pickup video because I saved $65 over regular retail picking this up, and it was like when the cashier looked at it and came up as like $9.96. She's like, "Well, I won't say anything if you don't say anything." And I mean, I guess I kind of lied when I said I wouldn't say anything because I'm making it a video about it. But it was just such a amazing deal because I mean, like, my unemployment payments are gone, like they're done. So I don't really have a lot of money. I'm going to be, like, my fiance is going to be kind of supporting the family throughout the summer while I'm home for our daughter. The only income I'm going to have is Patreon and YouTube. So, even the $30 was kind of expensive for what I have left, but to pick this up for $10, unbelievable. So I'm going to have to give these a try. Kind of curious about this one because, like I said, I don't really remember a lot about this. I think it's a tower defense game. I think, but it looks really cool. I mean, I wanted to get this anyway, so I'm super happy to have this. And of course, I'm a sucker for a good old-fashioned, nice game box. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that on there at the end because I was super excited to get this, an amazing deal. So anyway, there's a slight chance that if you're living in Canada that, they may have, I don't know if it's like just a single store issue, or if maybe it's an issue with their like price database overall, but you know, it may be worth just checking out, seeing what you can, you know, what this is selling at, because again, this is, you know, unbelievably worth it for $10. So anyway, thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed the video, and next week we'll be back to some like reviews and other stuff. So thank you guys very much. We'll see you then.